Hi everyone, thank you so much for sparing your Sunday and attending the weekly Merit Public Seminar series. My name is Sophia Liu and I'm the co-founder of Merit Education. As some of you already know, Merit Education is a well-recognized private high school located in Canada that's committed to educating global citizens of tomorrow. But it actually started as a pro bono public seminar like today's to help high school students find their ideal universities and programs. Since then, we've expanded into offering personalized tutoring, admission consulting, credit courses, and leadership program. But philanthropic activity is still at the heart of what we do. So we wanted to show you a quick video before I move on to introduce our today's very special guest. Today, it might be hard to imagine that some of our students have arrived in Canada not too long ago, not speaking a word of English and leaving everything they're familiar with behind in order to pursue a better future. Too often though, we've seen these high-achieving students struggle, lose hope and confidence because they can't adjust into the new environment. This is why Merit Education was co-founded in 2008 with a dream to become a bridge to help more new immigrant and international students integrate into Canadian schools and North American societies. In the aftermath of 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, our students wondered what can they do to help? And they decided to take out their art pieces and put it up for auctioning and donate all the proceeds raised to UNICEF to benefit children from around the world. This is how our charity night have begun.
But to reflect on our motivation to start the project, I think it was to combat the stereotypes against students of Chinese heritage. We wanted to provide a platform and an opportunity to show that we're creative, socially responsible, and compassionate people.
In the first year, we've raised over $38,000 for UNICEF and have since decided to make this charity gala an annual tradition.
通过团队的努力，我们完成了 UNICEF 大型慈善晚宴，并为非洲26个社区捐赠了水泵。
These include fundraising for freeing child soldiers around the world, contributing to international relief efforts in the aftermath of the Nepal earthquake, and supporting refugee children's education.
In 2018, we not only organized a service trip to China, but we also helped children in Africa obtain an education. In 2019, we dedicated our efforts on helping children who are suffering from the aftermath of Cyclone Idai in Africa and various other hurricanes.
In addition to a charity gala, every year Merit Education leads an international education assistant trip to rural China with a team of students, teachers, and young professionals to help them improve the quality of education in cities such as Wenjiang, setting up scholarship for teachers and students in rural Dujiangyan, donating English libraries to Miao Village, and teaching English and leadership in Langzhou. Over the last decade, Merit Education and its student council with students from over 30 schools across the GTA have fundraised nearly $200,000 in support of UNICEF and other organizations such as Markham Stouffville Hospital Foundations, the University of Toronto, schools in rural China, and senior communities in Markham. Today we have many successful and touching stories of our graduates going on to become young, confident leaders in their communities and responsible global citizens.
Without the help from teachers, student council members, student volunteers, donors, I would not been able to learn how to organize an event, how to organize different fundraising activity, and most importantly, how to give back to the global community.
To me, this annual event has been an invaluable opportunity to give back to the global community, as well as to engage in my lifelong passions in community service and human rights.
这次的活动的组织和发起，对我如今的工作和创业都有莫大的帮助。
In fact, giving back to the community and helping more youth develop their leadership potential is at the heart of what we do here at Merit Education. When the COVID-19 outbreak became a global pandemic, our students faced the threat of death, the threat of losing their loved ones, and the suspension of schools, and even worse, some faced discriminations. Despite all the challenges, our students have tirelessly fundraised for the frontline medical workers in both Canada and China since late January. They've also decided to continue our tradition by hosting the 10th annual charity fundraiser for UNICEF online this year to help children who are affected by COVID-19 outbreak. Especially in a time like this, we're grateful that so many people around the world have decided to join us. Through these charity events, we sincerely hope that we can become a bridge to connect the world with love. So thank you, everyone. Today we have a special guest, and we are extremely delighted to be able to invite Thep or Thiên乐to join us today to give a special talk on how to care for our physical and mental health during this pandemic. I know we have guests tuning in from Canada, many students from China, so thank you so much. Some of you may already know him as a TV celebrity in China, where he plays the Thai and Indian representative ambassador of Informal Talk reality TV show. But Thep has actually studied medicine in Jiangsu University on a full ride scholarship. So he's an amazing student, and he's currently a naturopathic medical student intern at RSNC and Sherborne Health Clinic in Toronto, Canada. He's also fluent in Hindi, Thai, English, and Chinese. Without further ado, let me hand it over to Thep.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Can you guys hear me well? No problem in hearing me, right? All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let me share my screen and let's get this party going, okay? I have so many things opening up here, so make sure that you see the right thing. All right. So yes, as Sophia said, my name is Thep, and I am the current naturopathic medical student intern right here in Canada. So today I'll be giving a very quick talk, approximately 30 minutes, about how to take care of your mental and physical health during the pandemic. But I just want to make sure that I want to keep this Zoom meeting interaction more of like interaction, not only me speaking and giving lecture to you guys. So make sure that if you have any questions, any comments, anytime during the presentation, feel free to leave the comment in the chat forum. I think a lot of people are using chat right now, so I'm pretty sure everybody know how to use it. So that's amazing. Yeah, so let's get started. I think 1 second, let me just make sure that I cannot see the chat at the same time, but we are going to have Q&A session after my presentation. So that we have approximately 10 minutes of Q&A question after my presentation as well. So stay tuned. So yeah, before I start with this presentation, I want to tell you guys one story. It's kind of one bedtime story. Why do I call it a bedtime story? It's because my mom used to tell this story to like me and my brother and my sister every night before we go to sleep. And it used to be my favorite bedtime story because I learned so much from it. So what I expect from you guys today is I'm going to tell this story to you approximately 5 to 6 minutes, the story. And after I complete telling the story, do you mind if anybody who's here telling me like, what did you learn from the story? What is the moral of the story that you learned today? Okay. All right. Let me check the chat forum. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is how the story goes, okay? So far, far from the far, far land, once upon a time in a farm, you know, a farm, right? Where there's a lot of animals, there's a house and a beautiful land out there, let's say in India, okay? Far, far land. There's a beautiful farm. And in this farm, as I told you, there's a lot of animals, right? There's a lot of different type of animals. What type of animals are there? So there's chicken. You see this beautiful chicken, very beautiful chicken, very arrogant, very confident, and very smart chicken living in this farm. There is also a pig. You see this pig, a fat, lazy pig, but loves sleeping in the farm and just enjoying his life in the farm every day. Okay. There is also one type of animal, which is a cow that living in this farm as well. A big, beautiful cow producing milk for the farm and society, and everybody's so proud of this cow, and they're living very happy in this farm. However, you see this house right here, this house right here. Everybody see this house, right? The owner of this house, the owner of this farm, is actually a grandparents. All right, one grandfather and one grandmother, who is the owner of the farm, and they're living inside the farm, taking care of the farm. They are very happy with their farm. Everything is going the way they wanted. But there's only one problem that is bothering them, that they have trouble with in the farm, which is a mouse. Apparently, there is a mouse inside that live inside the house. All right, and they do not like this mouse at all. Their grandparents do not like the mouse living inside this house at all. And this mouse is a troublemaker. So during a Christmas day, during a Christmas day, you see this Christmas festival, Christmas kind of feeling. A grandfather ordered a present to himself. All right, and the present arrived to the door. All right, so grandfather is very happy that the present ordered to the door, come to the door, and he just run to the door, open the door, pick up the present, and run inside back to the house. The grandfather and grandmother are very excited to open this present. So the mouse is very curious. Like, you know, the mouse want to know, why are they so happy? Why are they so happy trying to open this present? Can you guess what's inside the present? I don't think I don't see the chat forum anymore, but if you have any trouble hearing me, tell me anytime, okay? So, so when they open the present, they're very shocked and very happy. So the mouse is curious, what is inside the present? But when they open, someone said cheese. Sorry, someone says cheese or cat. No, the answer is not correct. When they open the present, it is a mouse trap. Can you see this? A mouse trap. You know, right? What is a mouse trap? To kill the mouse. So the mouse is very scared. The mouse is shocked. Like, what? This is a mouse trap for the mouse. I'm going to die. I'm scared. So the mouse is very sad. Can you see the mouse face? He's super sad because he knows that his life is in danger. So he needs help. So what does the mouse do? The mouse run to find help. So the first animal that the mouse go to is the chicken. The mouse go to the chicken and say, chicken, please help. There's a mouse trap inside the house. I don't want to die. Please help. But the mouse say, you know what? This is your problem. I don't live inside the house anyway. I live outside the farm and I produce such a wonderful eggs to the society every day. It's none of my business. Just go away. This is your business. So the mouse is super sad because the chicken doesn't want to help him, and he knows that his life is in danger. So what does the mouse do? The mouse run again to find another help. The mouse run to the pig and say the same thing. Pig, please help. There's a mouse trap inside the house. I don't want to die. Please help. But the mouse say, you know, this is none of my business. I don't live inside the house too, and this is your business. You just have to take care of your life, your own life. I just want to sleep and eat, and I want to enjoy my life here. So the mouse is sad again, the pig doesn't want to help him. So the third animal that the mouse run to is, guess it, what is the third animal that the cow? Yes, so I say the cow right there. Yeah, the mouse run to the cow and say, cow, please help. There's a mouse trap inside the house. I don't want to die. But the cow said the same thing. I'm so big, so strong, so beautiful. This is none of my business, and you just have to help yourself. You do you, and I do what I have to do here. So the mouse is super sad again. That night, the mouse go back alone to the house, sleep in his bed, crying because he knows that his life is in danger, right? However, what's more shocking is someone is raising his hand. Yeah, Aurora raising his hand. But if you have any question, wrote it in the chat forum, okay? So the mouse go back inside the house and cry. But that night, the mouse trap activated. The mouse trap caught something. Can you guess what the mouse trap caught? Caught something very scary. So everybody would think it's a mouse, right? So the owner, the grandfather and grandmother is very happy that finally they catch the mouse. So they run outside, run with the excitement to check. What did the mousetrap caught? But unfortunately, what the mousetrap caught was a snake. And it's a very scary snake. So the snake was scared of the grandfather as well. So the snake bit the grandfather. All right? And the grandfather fell down and fall sick. So the grandmother had to call the ambulance, call the hospital car, call the ambulance 打电话给医生，然后告诉医生快来grandfather just got bit by the snake, and they sent him to the hospital. During the hospital, the doctor say, in order to make sure that the grandfather will recover soon, you have to feed him with a lot of meat, a lot of soup. So what does the grandmother do? The grandmother go back to the farm, kill the chicken so that the grandmother can cook a chicken soup for the grandfather to eat so that he would have a healthy recover, right? So the chicken died. The grandfather eat it. However, unfortunately, the grandfather did not get better. The grandfather's condition keep getting worse and getting worse. So what does the grandmother do? The grandmother go back to the farm again and kill the pig to make the pork soup for the grandfather to eat so that help benefit the grandfather in recovery of his condition. But the grandfather did not get better again. And unfortunately, the grandfather died. So sad, so bad, so drama, right? The grandfather died. And you see, there's so many people who attended the funeral. So many people who attend the funeral, right? So in order for grandmother to, here's the grandmother, all right? Here's the grandmother. In order for the grandmother to feed everybody that comes to the funeral, what does the grandmother do? The grandmother have to go back to the farm and kill the cow so that the grandmother would have enough food to feed everybody that comes to the funeral, right? So you see, the chicken died, the pig died, the cow died. The only animal is left is mouse. And the only person that is left inside the house is the grandmother. So my question here is, what did you learn from the story? What is the moral of the story? Can you tell me? Like anyone who wants to speak, you can raise up your hand, or you can tell me on in the chat. What did you learn from the story? Yeah, someone say helping. Sometimes helping others is helping ourselves. Yeah, that is so beautiful of you to say that. Someone say selfishness doesn't pay. Yeah, help others to help others. Yeah, everything happened within a reason. We should help others, and I think every comment right there is correct. And the reason why I want to tell this story to you guys before I get into my presentation is because just like what you guys say, I feel like I feel like the moral of the story is choose kindness, and I'm the kind of guy who really go for this choose kindness. And because imagine if anybody was kind enough to help the mouse, right? Then their life would be safe as well. What's wrong with the society these days is because people keep thinking that if something happened to someone, it's never going to affect them. It's never going to, it's none of their problem, it's none of their business, and it's not going to affect them in any way. But we live in interconnected world, right? Sometimes something that happened to you will directly or indirectly happen to me, will directly have consequences to the society as well. So why am I telling you this story during the pandemic? Because I understand that we're living in such a difficult time. We're living in such a chaotic time, in such a confusing time, and some of us is more disturbed than other people. Some of us get hit by this pandemic harder than the other people. So I think it is time for us to be kind, kind more than ever, and to yourself and to other people, because we live in an interconnected world. And what happened to other people will eventually have a direct or indirect consequences to yourself as well, right? So in order for me to say that, I would jump into the tips for a great mental and physical health today. Yeah. So the tips, I keep looking at your chat as well. So sometimes I pause for like 1 second. So don't mind me, okay? All right. So what's the number one tip? The number one tip is related back to what I was telling you, like the story. I think the most important thing, because I know that my audience here are mostly high school students, right? Or students in general. So I want to make sure that my tips is simple as much as possible and can relate it back to you guys. So I feel like the first tip would be to stay connected to others, contact your colleagues and friends and family regularly. Many people think that social distancing is like, okay, you have to social distancing, you have to stay alone in the home, watch TV in the home alone, and just keep to yourself. But I just want to remind you that social distancing is not the same as emotional distancing. Social distancing in this case, what we're talking about is more of physical distancing. Someone keep drawing something here, but I don't mind. But social distancing here is more of like physical distancing. Make sure that, okay, you don't mingle with the public places where I think now in Canada, you're not allowed to stay in a place where there's more than 10 people, right? It used to be more than 5, more than 3. But remember that it's not the same as emotional distancing. So stay connected with your friends. We live in a world where technology is such an advance these days, right? Call your friends up sometime. If I'm your friend, call me up. Hey, Taylor, how are you doing these days? Is everything okay with you? If I didn't hear from you for 2-3 days, call them up. You never know if they're stressed, if they have, if they feel so much anxiety with the situation, if they need someone to talk to, you can talk to each other through Zoom, like what we are doing right now. You can have a party through Zoom. My birthday was just last week. And what I did was the same thing. I have a birthday party through Zoom to make sure that I stay connected with my friends and just catch up with my friends. And I think this is the most important thing to make sure that you stay connected to others, stay emotional, attached to people, and knowing that you're not alone. All right. That's my first tip. So the second tip is, I think this is a little bit harder to structure your days, take regular breaks, and adapt to your daily life to the current situation. Honestly speaking, even as a medical student, it is hard to structure your days when you know that you don't have to go outside of the home, right, during the pandemic, right? I mean, it's so easy to fall into trap to stay in your pajamas whole day, to not shower the whole day, to just sitting on your sofa whole day, to to watch television whole day, to watch television in 3 to 4 a.m. and wake up at 12 p.m. I honestly speaking that I honestly have to tell you that I did it myself as well. During the first few days of pandemic, that's what I did as well. I sleep at 4, wake up at 1 p.m. and it felt good for a while, but I must tell you that if we keep doing this every day, our structure of the days will become messed up. You know, it's not going to work. We're not going to be as productive as we used to. So this is what I do. I have this like a simple book with me all the time, and I structure my day. I don't know whether you see it or not, but you see, this is what I do for myself. I structure my days in advance. Like, for example, this is in this book. There's a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday. So I know exactly in a day what I have to do, and I structure my days in advance. So, for example, tomorrow is Monday, right, here in Canada. So I would tell myself that tomorrow I have a meeting at 4. I have to see a patient at this time to this time. I know that I have to go out for a run this time to this time. I structure my days and I try to keep my schedule to that schedule, you know, to make sure that I'm become productive as much as I can. And I know that if I don't do something like this, I'll become lazy and I will just stay in my pajamas whole day working from home. So I would highly encourage all of us to do the same thing if you can. Or, you know, we have phone, right? So you can also like have some calendar on phone and writing out the calendar what you have to do during each day. I can make this before, but I can't keep doing it. Shame on me. Yeah, me too. It's not shame at all. Shame on me as well. I keep falling into trap of not doing it as well. But keep trying. One step at a time. Right? One step at a time, little by little. Quarantine. Waiting for yeah. So yeah. I keep getting distracted by the chat right there. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And the third tips that I want to give to you guys is choose your media source carefully and purposefully. I know that sometimes when you're in front of the news all the time, there's so many news channel, there's so many media sources that giving out so much information, and I found out that, for example, for some of my patients, that brought a lot of anxiety and worrying for the patient, you know. So if you feel that you're getting affected by the news, by you're becoming anxiety of the situation, I would tell you that try to stay. I'm not telling you not to watch the news, but maybe try to stick to one's media source that you trust and watch it once a day, you know. Or if you live with someone else, try to make sure that if you don't want to overwhelm yourself with all this information and you know that you're getting too much anxiety from it, try to make sure that you put this responsibility to someone in the house that can manage this part of your responsible, and make sure that you ask from them at the end of the day, like, what's going on with the COVID situation? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Is the supermarket opening? Can we go back to the school? Can we go back to work? This way you won't put a lot of burden to yourself and you won't put a lot of anxiety to yourself as well, right? Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree that sometimes the news make you feel stressed and yeah, so make sure that you choose your media sources carefully. The next tips that I wanted to give to you guys is I have to be mindful of the time here. All right. Get out of the house at least once a day for at least 30 minutes. I cannot stress enough that this is so important. Of course, getting out of the house these days, it is recommended to wear a mask to make sure that you protect yourself. Don't go to somewhere where there's a lot of people. But as I told you before, social distancing is not the same as emotional distancing. I mean, if you know that you cannot go to the park, for example, the park and there's too many people, then do the first thing in the morning when you know that there's not a lot of people and keep social distancing. Make sure that you stay 6 feet apart, 2 feet apart. You can go for for a walk, or if you don't want to go outside of the house, if you're living with someone who's like elderly in the house and you know that you might be risk might be a risk to them, people who are living inside your house, make sure that you just open your door, open your window, or step outside your backyard. Just breathe fresh air. You have no idea how much nature, how much fresh air can have such a wonderful impact on your mental health. You know, make sure that you don't stay in your home whole day. Get out of the house, see the light. You know, it's such. I don't want to jump into so much medical aspect of health, but it is so unhealthy for a human being not to see the light, not to see the sunlight. Make sure that you wake up on time and go out and absorb the sunlight so that your home, you know, melatonin and dopamine, serotonin, these are neurotransmitters in the brains can function properly so that your mental health stay active, your mental health stay strong. Okay, I cannot stress enough. Go out of your house at least 30 minutes a day. Breathe out the fresh air and be grateful that you are outside. Okay, it will be beneficial to your mental health greatly. Number 5, find some time to move each day. And again, I would recommend at least 30 minutes a day. And I know that for some people, it's a little bit difficult because most of us live in a condominium, right? I live in a I live in a residence in my school as well. So my gym is closed. So that used to be my source of like exercise, you know, but it's closed. So what I did was I tried to find creative ways to move. For example, if you go to my Instagram, I believe that a lot of people here follow my Instagram already. But if you find my Instagram, you see that sometimes we just leave the sofa, or we just leave the rock outside the garden, or we just try to run outside the garden. You know, the thing is, I don't care what you have to do, but try to make sure that move at least 30 minutes per day to make sure that you stay active and stay physically active. One more thing is, I know that during the quarantine, during this pandemic, so many of the yoga app, meditation app, application from your phone or exercise app, their business is going up in the roof, right? There's so many free trial, for example, 1 month trial, 3 months trial on the mobile app. They will teach you the exercise that you can do at home, right? So I feel like you can download those applications. I did as well. I download those applications and I do it myself at home. Push up, or run outside. You know, when I feel like when you watch the way they're doing it and watch the music that they play, you just want to do it as well. So I would recommend it, highly recommend it that you do the same. Yeah. Stay active for at least 30 minutes a day. And just to give you a tips right there, you know that the Canadian government, the Canadian Public Health recommended that teenage and kids are recommended to move at least 1 hour a day. So 30 minutes a day is actually less than what is recommended, but I know that 1 hour might be too much, but 30 minutes a day would be something that you should aim for at the beginning. If you can, do it, and you're awesome. Number 6, my number the tips here is to reach out to other people, and again, you guess it, at least once daily for 30 minutes. That's what I told you before. And I know that I told you about reaching out to other people before, reaching out to your parents, to your mom, to your dad, to your friends. But it is important to reach out for help for yourself as well. If you know that you are in a place where you're not okay, where you feel that you need help, reach out to some people, reach out to your friends, reach out to your parents, reach out to your school counselor, or you know what, reach out to me, reach out to my social media, or there's so many public health care out there that can help you out. So make sure that you be kind to other people, you help other people, but most importantly, be kind to yourself as well. Know when to reach out, know when to help yourself. Okay? And yeah, for 30 minutes a day, imagine if everybody was so kind, if we are so kind, so caring for each other, and in this pandemic. We just want to make sure that everybody stay tuned, stay healthy. We're gonna live in such a wonderful world, right? Yeah, so that's I feel like this is such an important thing. The next tip: find a long-term project to dive into. What I mean by this is, I feel like don't think that quarantine is a punishment for you. Many people think that quarantine is something that, oh, it's so bad. It's, you have to stay in home and you can't do nothing. But I feel like you have to look at it as a unique opportunity to start what you always wanted to do. And I truly believe this as well, because I always wanted to. I used to do meditation, for example. Okay, I used to do meditation when I was younger, but because I get too busy these days, I did not do meditation as much as I used to. So I used this unique opportunity all the time that I had in home. I start doing my meditation again. I download the application from meditation, and I start meditation every day for 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm loving it. And and I know that people might not have the same interest as me, but yeah, people in the chat were saying that I learned to play piano, right? I learned how to speak French. Good. Or I learned IELTS. Yeah. I feel like this is such a unique opportunity to do what you always wanted to do, learn new languages, exercise, get a better body, get a better skin, or um, uh, play piano, play guitar, or learn Thai, learn German. Yeah, do what you always wanted to do, because you might not have this time on your hand as much as you have now. So a unique opportunity. I will put it that way. Okay. Yeah. Improve your English as well. Yeah. Learn English. Watch a lot of movie. Watching a lot of English movie. I would love to tell you how I learn English as well, but I don't think we have enough time because I need to get off in like approximately 10 minutes from now. But yeah. So number 8. Remind yourself daily that this is temporary. Okay. That this is not permanent. And I ensure you that this is just something temporary. It's not going to be forever. We might have to adjust ourselves to some new rules and regulation, and we might have to adjust ourselves to a new normal. All right, and that's new normal every day. It used to be like what? Stay inside your home, try not to stay outside, or stay socially distancing. But now in Canada, you can stay up. You can excuse me. You can meet people up to 10 people in the same circle of friends, and I feel like situation will keep getting better and better if we keep obey by the rule, right? Just to make sure out there that this is not permanent, and this too shall pass, and we all matters. You matter, I matter. If you need help anytime, reach out, and we're here for you. We're here for each other. All right. Yeah, and I think one more thing that I wanna teach you guys before I pass the microphone back to Sophia of Q&A session is that physical to stay physically healthy is important. How to stay physically healthy? For example, if you want to be strong physically, you have to go to gym. You have to eat well. You cannot eat junk food. You have to eat good food. You have to go to gym. Make sure that you gain a muscle. Make sure that you become a strong. Right? It's the same as mentally aspect. If you want to stay mentally healthy, you have to practice and practice to make sure that you have that quality of how to stay mentally healthy. So I feel like gratitude is such a good way to practice your mental health, to teach your mental health to look for good things so that your mental health stay active. So this is a thing that I like. It's like that gratitude changes everything. Good gratitude changes everything. So today I want to teach you guys how to do a gratitude journaling. Have you heard about this before, gratitude journaling? The funny thing is, I taught a lot of my patients about gratitude journaling as well, and they're loving it. All my patients who have done the gratitude journaling, they're loving it. and they find so much beneficial from it. So what is gratitude journaling? I will teach you guys today, okay? Yeah, the PowerPoint is cute. Thank you. So this is a gratitude journaling. So the step of gratitude journaling is like this. First, you have to find a journal. You have to find a book. Like you see, I have a book right here. Like this is my gratitude journaling as well. So I have to find a book that I like right here. I really like this book for myself because it's so simple, so cute. So find a book that you really like, and you have to make sure that you put it somewhere you can see every day. I see your question, Jessica. Make sure that you remember that question. Soon I'll finish with gratitude journaling and I will come back to your question. Okay, make sure that you ask me again. Make sure that so for gratitude journaling, make sure that you have this book on your table, on your bedside, somewhere that you can see it all the time. Okay, so that you'll be seeing this book all around. And what I want you to do is, you choose 3 days of the week. For example, you choose Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or even better, if you do it every day. Ideally, you have to do it every day. Try to find a quiet space, and every morning, write down the 3 things that you are grateful for. You understand the meaning of grateful, right? Something that you feel happy about, something that you feel grateful, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to, something that you are thankful to the world of. For example, I want you to be as specific as much as possible. For example, if I love dog, so when I have a dog, I used to write, I'm so grateful for my dog. But this is not enough. I want you to be more specific. I want you to tell yourself why. You have to say, I'm so thankful of my dog because, I put because there, because she greets me every time I come home and she made me feel like I'm special. She made me feel like I matter. Okay? Write 3 things that matters to you. Write 3 things that you're grateful of. Or it can be other thing else. For example, today I will be, after the meeting, I'll be writing that I'm thankful that I have an opportunity to give this talk to you guys, because it feels like I'm able to use my knowledge and I'm able to use my kindness, share my kindness to you all. That's what I'm grateful of. You see, I be specific as much as possible. And most important thing is, after you write these 3 things that you're grateful of, make sure that you feel the feels. Make sure that you feel the emotion, feel where the emotions land on your body. Feel that gratefulness that you're feeling. Feel that happiness that you're feeling. Do it every day for 5 to 10 minutes or 5 minutes maximum. And I'm sure that this is the way that you're practicing your gratitude, practicing how to stay mentally strong. And there's so many research that back up this gratitude journaling. Try it for yourself for a month or 2 and tell me how it goes. And I'm sure you will find so much helpful from it. I don't know why it's yeah, okay, so some tips. Okay, my last slide. Make sure that you have to write in a present tense and must be something positive. So for example, you have to write, I am calm today. You cannot write, I am not worrying today. You see, because if you put not worrying today, that's something negative. Put something in a positive. I am calm today. I am happy today. Do not write, I am not angry today. All right? That's a tip. Write something in a positive. And also write something in present tense. Don't write, I will be happy. No, you say, I am happy. Keep your English in a present tense. All right, that's the tips of gratitude journaling. One more thing is, I found it's useful to write it on a paper than electronics than on computers. Right? I found a lot of patients they found that useful as well. Write it on a paper. As I say, find a cute journal that you like and keep it around. I think you like that. And remember that you're practicing to train your mind, train your brain, how to look for good things, right? How to train your mind to be positive, to feel grateful for the world, for your friends, for everything around you. All right. So before I say goodbye and for the Q&A session right here, I want to leave with this quotation that I like. I say that little by little, a little becomes a lot. So make sure that you practice, you know, to stay healthy little by little, physically and mentally, and those things will become a lot. Those things will become matters to your health. If you have any question, if you want to talk to me about it, if you want to talk about gratitude journaling, if you need to find help, seek help, contact me through Instagram every time. My Instagram is dr_take. Contact me anytime. All right. I know that during my PowerPoint, there's like line here all the time. People keep drawing in front of my PowerPoint, but I hope you know that that's not part of my PowerPoint. But yeah. All right. So that's the end of my presentation. I will pass the floor back to Sophia for Q&A. If you have any question, feel free to drop your question in the Q&A. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Thep. That was really great. So we have only a few minutes for Q&A, but I'm going to pass it on to Sky from Merit, who have gathered the questions to share it with you.
Yeah.
Can you stop sharing your screen so I can share?
Oh, I have to stop sharing screen, right? Okay, sure. 1 second. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello，天乐。
Hello。
Hello，大家好。我这里呢收集了一些同学们的问题，然后我这里首先呢第一个问题是想问一下天乐，关于来自 Jessica 的问题。She said, how to deal with depressive emotion and anxiety when you failed to do something extremely important?
When you fail to do something extremely important, that's what you said?
Yes, and how to cope with the depressive emotion.
Okay, I totally understand. You know, I want to make sure that if I go to medical side of it, there's always, so in psychology, there's 5 phases of actually dealing with failure or dealing with disappointment. And I want to make sure that it is normal. It is completely normal to feel sad or feel disappointed when something doesn't go your way. When you deal with something difficult, it is completely normal. But just to make sure that you find help, again, talk to your friends, talk to your teacher, talk to your family, and seek help. Because I feel like sometimes when you see these things in other people's perspective, it might not be as big as you think it is. And again, if you think that it's too big, and you really know that you acknowledge that this is something that is too big and someone cannot help you, seek help. Go to your medical doctor, go to your naturopathic doctor, or go to your school counselor. I'm sure that they have a protocol in place to help you. But again, it is completely normal to feel depressed, sad when something doesn't go your way. And those feelings will stay with you for 5 days, for 1 week, for 2 weeks. It is a phase of dealing with grief, all right, in psychological way. That's completely normal. But if it go over a month or 2 or year, that is not normal anymore. That's what I want to tell you. So make sure that you seek help. Make sure that there's someone monitoring your symptoms. Make sure that someone knows that what are you dealing with now? How is your emotion evolving right now? All right, that would be my suggestion. But yeah, practice gratitude journaling and talk to people. That would be my way. I wouldn't tell you that go and take medication right away and do things right away, because I feel like those are preserved when things are really bad, you know? So make sure that you find someone to talk to and knowing that those are normal. All right? Sure.
Okay, thank you. And here is another question from Qian Yin. She said she's a teacher and some of her students' parents lost their job during this critical time. So how can I teach them to adjust their mindset? Or what's your thoughts about this problem?
I'm sorry, I did not understand the question. So some parents lost their job and
so she's a teacher and she don't know how to teach them to adjust their mindset. And maybe you can talk about your thoughts about this problem.
Oh, they don't know how to change their mindset, right?
Yeah.
That is why I totally understand that, you know, like so many people get hit differently with this pandemic, you see. It's so sad that I know I feel your pain, and I totally feel your pain. I totally feel your pain, but I know that some people are okay. Nothing during the pandemic, nothing is affecting them. They just have to quarantine, stay inside the home. But some people are not as fortunate as us, right? Some people lose their job. Some people lose their business. So it is important for us to be kind. I feel like there's no better timing now than just be kind and check on each other. And I know that I might not be a lot of help to actually help them finding that new job, or it's not in my power. But all I can tell you is things will get better. You are not alone. A lot of people are hitting with the same situation. If you're a teacher, I feel like talking to them, give them a word of encouragement would be awesome. But also, I don't know whether if they're in Canada or if they're like in China. I don't know what's the protocol like in China, but in Canada, I think that there's a lot of government funding that help people who lost their job as well, right? CERB. So I feel like giving them the resources they need to find help, right? So I feel like those would be something that that I would be giving suggestion to. But after all, make sure that they don't give up. Make sure that they don't give up. Just keep fighting little by little, and little become big. I believe in this, and I know, I honestly speaking, I don't even know how to answer this question nicely. I don't even know how to help. All I can do is be kind and be empathetic for those people. And I wish you well. But keep trying. Things will go you well. You matter, and everybody matters. Yeah.
Okay, and here is the last question because the time is very short. So this question is from Jackie Ma, and she said, "How do you deal with discrimination from other people because of the verse?"
Yeah, so discrimination is something that is big these days in the world, and is breaking a lot of people's heart. I feel like, what? Be yourself. I feel like be confident, you do you. Make sure that you do your part. For example, make sure that you're not doing anything wrong. Make sure that when you go outside, when you go to the public, especially during the pandemic, wear masks. Make sure that you stay socially distancing. Make sure that you're not emotionally distancing, okay? Socially distancing, physical distancing. So say 6 feet apart, 2 meters apart. Make sure that you do everything that is correct out there. You do you. What other people think of you, that has no consequences toward you. Remember that, all right? What's more important thing is what you think about yourself is more important than what other people think about themselves. Have you heard about iron? Iron, right? A metal. Iron. Iron? Like a metal. Iron, nothing can hurt iron except iron itself. When it keep growing, I don't know how to call that thing. When iron is old, there's the yellow thing that like come around the iron. So iron get destroyed by itself. So it's the same as rust. Thank you. That's the word, rust. So it's same as a human mind. No one can hurt us as much as our own mind. So make sure that you know yourself, that if you do everything right, you're doing everything right. Don't let your own mind destroy you. Be strong, be truthful to yourself. As long as you do everything correct, you're gonna be okay. No one can hurt you as long as you have love yourself and be true to yourself and stay mentally strong. Yeah.
Thank you, Thep. Thank you for sharing such insightful, really tips and thoughts. And thank you for keeping us entertained and giving all the good advice. I really like the message you conveyed in the beginning, which is to be kind to each other. And I think that also applies when you're faced with discrimination, because if you're kind and instead of getting angry, try to be understanding, and then you can start a conversation. So thank you for that. And the story of the mice really reminded me of you because I know you're someone who is extremely generous with your time. And we also know that you've only arrived in Canada for 6 months, but you've already involved yourself in lots of volunteer activities and charitable causes in Canada, and always try your best to help others. So we're really touched by your kind gesture. and want our students to also learn from you. So thank you. And another important point you mentioned is that socially distancing doesn't mean emotionally distancing. This is extremely important as many of our students are also living far away from their families in a completely different countries, and they can't even see their friends in person anymore due to the pandemic. So using the technology and time available to reach out to their loved ones or people who they might not usually connect is also important, and a small gesture, I think, goes a long way. And lastly, the gratitude journal you mentioned, I've heard a lot of great feedback about as well, and I think it's very actionable. So I'm gonna start implementing it today. So thank you. And speaking of being kind to others, we wanted to really thank you for supporting the virtual 10th annual Canadian Chinese Students Charity Gala, which was broadcasted online globally a few weeks ago this year. Thanks to your support, we've fundraised $40,000 for UNICEF this year to help children who are suffering from the COVID-19 outbreak. So here is a letter from UNICEF to thank you. So
thank you so much. Thank you. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And next, I wanted to pass it on to Dr. Joe Liu, who is the president of Merit Education and principal of Merit College, to say a few words and also present you our mentor appointment letter for your willingness to continue to help the new immigrant and international students integrate into Canada. Dr. Liu.
Hi, 天热，你好。
你好，你好。
非常高兴，也非常感谢天热，参加我们的卓越公益讲座，特别是给我们带来了如此精彩、如此风趣、如此有意义的一个讲座。那么，我们也感谢所有的同学们、朋友们，今天来到我们卓越的公益讲座。那么，卓越这个公益讲座呢，诞生于卓越教育的诞生的2008年。那么我们卓越的 mentorship 创建于2010年。那么卓越的这个 mentorship 呢 program 呢，帮助了数以千计的新移民和留学生。10年来，我们邀请了来自加拿大、北美、欧洲、亚洲和世界各国的优秀大学生、研究生、社区、政界和商界的精英，成为我们的 mentor， 也就是我们的学生导师。今天我们非常荣幸在这里聘请我们的天乐为我们卓越这个公益讲座的 mentor， 也是我们卓越的导师。大家欢迎。
谢谢你，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。
我们希望这个今后有更多的机会这个天乐呢，给我们来分享他的成功的人生经验和他的专业经验。大家知道，他是一个优秀的医生，他的梦想是医生。我们希望他把对社会的爱、对职业的这个忠诚这种精神，会给我们每一个学生。让我们一起和天乐来实现我们共同的人生理想。好，再次谢谢你。
谢谢你，谢谢。
Thank you, Thep. Thank you, Dr. Liu. Finally, I would like to introduce Sky, who is our academic counselor, to introduce our upcoming seminar next Saturday, as well as summer courses.
OK， 大家好，我们每周一讲的卓越教育公益讲座将于下周六6月20号加拿大时间早上10点到11点，北京时间晚上10点到11点，将和您继续在 Zoom 上相见。下周六讲座主题将是我们的学霸经验谈第4讲，如何申请名校商学院以及如何写申请文书。我们将邀请到获得皇后大学史密斯商学院、西安大略大学埃维商学院、大不列颠哥伦比亚大学萨德商学院以及麦吉尔大学政治科学国际关系专业、多伦多大学社会科学管理和国际商务专业的 Cecilia 蔡来分享她的商学院申请经验。同时我们也邀请到了持有 OCT 执政教师香港大学和多伦多大学硕士学位、中西方文化教学经验和丰富的申请大学经验和海外学习经验的邹涵瑞老师来为大家分享如何写好文书申请到理想的大学，请大家不要错过。 当然，刚才天乐也说了，在疫情期间是一个很好的机会来发展自己的爱好。那么同样呢，疫情期间也是在学习上查漏补缺的好时机，利用好暑假就可以赢在开学，实现逆袭。因此，卓越教育根据每个同学的不同情况来制定了不同的暑期计划。那么大家可以根据自己的需要来报名。我们有学分课、预习课、补习课以及大学先修课等课程。优先报名的同学可以享受早鸟优惠，不要错过哦。那么因为时间的关系，我们的讲座就到此为止。感谢大家今天的观看，谢谢天乐，谢谢大家，我们下周六见。
拜拜，
Thank you.
再见大家。好，照顾自己哦，拜拜，谢谢你。